Today's plan on the half bug is to build the rear cover for this. I've got the case housing bolted together. Last video I put the alignment pin up here, or I think it was the video before last. Put the alignment pin up there, got the cases aligned. I have the stuff ordered to go up in the oiling system. Got a new plunger, spring, and a new bolt to go on the bottom. So what we're going to do is build a back plate. This is a 1/4 inch thick 6061 T6. I made a quick sketch off the plans. I don't know if you can see that or not, but where the bolt holes go. And since it's paper plans, I'll move stuff around just a little bit to where it centers up to the meaty spots on the case. One thing I am going to have to do is a little more welding. That spot right there just looks crappy. I'm going to heat that back up, flow those impurities out, and fill that in. And this spot right here, there should be a bolt. Goes right in the top of that area. So I'm going to fill in from about there up. Me some meat there to put the bolt in. So right now I'm going to lay this down on the sheet of aluminum, trace around it, and start rough cutting it out. The bottom of it, you have your fins here, but the bottom of it needs to be level with the line across here where this oil plate goes, because we'll be building a new plate and it'll actually extend past the backing plate slightly to give it a surface to seal up against. Before I start tracing, there's a couple other things I was going to do here. The way that back plate cut off, you have a couple of thin little ears here. I'm going to grind those down to where it's just the one piece here sticking up. And I'm also going to take off these ears here for the oil cooler, because we are way past the point of putting a standard VW oil cooler on this. So I might as well get those out of the way and shave a little more weight off. Okay, we got that area trimmed off. Got these little flaps going there, so now we can lay that on the metal and start tracing. Okay, now to the bandsaw. I'll cut that a little wide. Probably just to, not super wide, probably along the outside edge of the black. And then we'll start fitting it on the case and belt sanding it down to where it fits just perfect. There is a very rough cut panel. It's got overhang on all edges, just a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is take and go ahead and drill and tap a hole on each side there in that real meaty section that I welded in. That way, just do two. That way, anytime that I set the cover back on there, I've got an alignment point as I keep trimming it and working it, getting it to the exact shape. I won't have to worry about putting it back on there in the same spot every time. If the bolts are in there, it'll be in the same spot. So I'll mark that and I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll probably go back over and do a little more welding. Went through and marked down through the hole on the case where I drill these holes. They look like they're in the right spot to me, center of the bar there. So I've got this clamped on, still got the overlap going all the way around. So I'm going to drill this hole, get it ready to tap, and then we'll drill the hole in the plate out to a 1/4 inch. We're using 1/4 bolts. So we'll get this first one done. That will hold everything in place, and we can get the second one done, then everything will stay aligned. First bolt is in, so now we can go ahead and drill and tap this one. That'll have our 2 bolts in, and we can trim it down. Bolt number 2 is in, everything still looks good. start shaving off some of the edges. There's a couple of spots that's real wide. I'll hit them with the belt or the bandsaw, and then the rest of it I'll probably just smooth out with a flap wheel while it's bolted on the case. I think that'll work pretty slick on some of these areas. And there we go, we got a backing plate. Just buzzed it around the edges. Fits nicely. The bottom here is level with this circle for the oil plate. Around the edges it's cleaned up. Around the top it's good. There'll be bolts here, a couple more here, two more, or now there'll be there, there, and then four small ones along the bottom. So that'll be the next video. I think I'm gonna go play with a different toy right now. But that was not a problem at all to cut that out. Looks nice. We'll get it drilled. We'll get it all fitted on there. We'll smooth out the back of the case, make sure it is exactly flat to where it seals up good. It's not bad now. You see a little hump there, but that's because the plate is not perfectly flat. It's an extruded plate, so it had a little curve when I started. But we'll get it all pulled down tight. A little welding, a little more drilling. That'll be all on there. Like and subscribe if you haven't so you can keep up with this build, and thanks for watching.